Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Coach Craig's Sports. Today is Monday, May 30th. It's also Memorial Day, so shout out to everyone who served or actively serving at this point in time. Thank you for the service to this country. And with that being said, this is the MLB DFS video for today. So in today's video, we'll be taking a look back at yesterday's picks, seeing how they turned out, and then talking about my core picks for the FanDuel main slate for today, and then talking about the top GPP stacks for today's main slate as well from my article over at WeBetATS.com. But without further ado, we'll get started with a recap of yesterday's picks. At the pitcher position, we had Sonny Gray, $8,800. Got to 37 points. He was a hit yesterday. Kind of middle of the pack in terms of what pitchers were, but he did end up getting hurt in this game. He was really cruising at that point in time. He probably would have pitched at least that 7 innings. So probably, would have been over 40 points really easily. It was just kind of unfortunate that he did leave the game with a pectoral issue. Then at first base, we had Matt Olson, $3,400, got to 15.5, so he was a hit. This was kind of my gut feeling yesterday. Matt Olson was going to have a good day, and he ended up doing it. Then at second base, third base, first base, whatever you want to play him at, Luis Arraez, $2,900, got to 12.4 points, so he was the hit. He kept his streak of 9 points or more continuing. And then we moved down to the outfield. We had Miles Straw, $2,900, batting leadoff for Cleveland. Looked like a pretty good day for these Cleveland batters. Just did not end up happening yesterday. He had 0 points, so he was a miss, obviously. And then we had J.D. Martinez at $4,000. Got to 12.5 points, so he was a hit as well. Pretty stacked day in terms of outfield, but still was a good play regardless. So 4 out of 5 in terms of hits yesterday. If you had some other decent plays to go along with this, you probably did pretty well. If not, a little bit tougher day to cash just because there was some pretty high scores overall on yesterday's slate. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to the core picks for today. So we're going to start off at the pitcher position. We're paying all the way up for Walker Buehler, $10,300, averaging over 31 fantasy points per game on the season. It's not been the greatest start to the year for him, especially when it comes to fantasy points-wise. He's still got a good ERA, whip, everything like that. Just not striking out quite as many batters, but he is going against Pittsburgh today, so there is that opportunity for strikeouts once again. It should be a matchup that he gets 40 points or more pretty easily today, so definitely have a lot of interest in Walker Buehler today. I do expect he'll be pretty popular overall, though. Then we'll move down to his teammate at second base with Gavin Lux, $2,500, averaging just under 8 fantasy points per game on the season. He's going against the Pittsburgh Pirates and Zach Thompson today. Zach Thompson, he's not like the worst pitcher in baseball, but he's just kind of like this middling, like 4 or 5 starter on a team. But since he's on the Pirates, he's a little bit higher up in their rotation, but that's just the way it is. Gavin Lux, definitely like the upside there at $2,500. He has no history versus Thompson, so we'll see how that pans out today. Then we'll move down to shortstop Francisco Lindor, $4,100, averaging over 12.5 fantasy points per game on the season. He's been very hot as of late. Goes against Eric Fedde today, not the greatest pitcher in the world. He's 3 for 12 with 1 home run versus him in his career, so definitely some upside there today. So going down to outfield, we're going right back to the Boston Red Sox. Kiki Hernandez today, probably batting leadoff for them once again. $3,000, averaging over 9 fantasy points per game on the season. Starting to hit the ball rather well. Goes against Tyler Wells and the Baltimore Orioles today. He's 1 for 2 versus him with a home run in his career, so definitely has some upside there as well. Then last but not least, we have the old friend in Lorenzo Cain, $2,100. Really cheap price tag there. So, he's kind of written off at this point in time just because Lorenzo Cain and his age and everything like that. But going against the Cubs and Drew Smyly today, maybe a spot that we can take advantage of. He's 5 for 13 with 1 home run versus Drew Smyly in his career. It is also important to note that they do play a doubleheader today, so he'll probably play in one of the games and not the other one. So if he's in the first game, he's probably not playing the second game. But we'll just have to keep an eye out for that overall today. But with that being said, if you go with these 5 players, you have exactly $13,000 remaining, just over $3,200 per player. Potentially could spend up for one other player. There's some decent value options on today's slate. Definitely be sure to check out the cheat sheet for that. And speaking of cheat sheet, we'll move over to my article over at WeBetATS.com and talk about the top GPP stacks for today. So the stacks that I do have for today are the New York Mets going against Eric Fedde of the Washington Nationals. Historically not been a very good pitcher, a little bit better this year, but the Mets have hit him well in the past, so definitely a lot of upside there. Then we have the Milwaukee Brewers going against Drew Smyly of the Chicago Cubs. We know what Drew Smyly is at this point in his career. Doesn't usually pitch that far in the games too, so there's some opportunities to attack this Cubs bullpen as well. And the Brewers have hit left-handed pitching pretty well over the past year or so. So definitely a lot of opportunities there. Then we have the Red Sox going against Tyler Wells. Still a relatively young, unproven pitcher. Red Sox bats have been really hot as of late, so I do not expect that to stop anytime soon. And then we have the Dodgers going against Zach Thompson of the Pirates. Dodgers bats, one of the scariest lineups in all of baseball. Zach Thompson does have flashes sometimes as a pitcher, but probably not going to be today, and coming off a rough start as well. But with that being said, these are my core picks as well as top GPP stacks for today, May 30th. As always, if you have any questions related to MLB DFS, be sure to leave them down in the comments below and I'll get back to you as quickly as possible. Also, be sure to let me know your favorite play on tonight's slate, whether it's someone from my core 5, whether it's someone from my top GPP stacks, or a completely different player you guys think I missed. Definitely interested in hearing what you have to say. But with that being said, if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Definitely would appreciate it. Helps to build the community that we're trying to build here at Coach Craig Sports, which is one that's truly for you, the viewers. Helping you with your DFS, whether it's MLB or USFL, those are the two main ones at this point in time. And then once we get back around to the NFL and NBA regular seasons, I will be covering those sports as well. And then with that being said, if you are new or current subscribers yet to do so, also be sure to hit that notification bell down below. It's going to let you know every single time I post up a new video. Like I've been saying, I post up daily MLB DFS videos just like this. But with that being said, that's all I have for today's video. Hopefully you all enjoyed. And then last but not least, special little shout out to each and every one of you watching today's video. I truly do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. Definitely means a lot to me, and I hope each and every one of you has a great rest of your day.